My name is Alex Gonzales, and this is my tribute speech. And this is my audience for this speech. And now we will begin. On August 17th of this year, the world was blessed with another album by Ariana Grande. Sweetener is her fourth studio album and her third album to go number one. The day it released, it broke the US Spotify record for the biggest opening day for a female artist. The album had surpassed over 15 million streams on its first day out. Ariana Grande has changed the pop world forever, but things haven't been so easy for her these past few years. In 2017, Grande's Manchester show in the UK was targeted by an Islamic terrorist. And sadly this year, she lost her ex-boyfriend Mac Miller and had to call off her engagement with Pete Davidson because of the stress of it all. However, despite all of this, Ariana Grande has remained confident for herself and her fans. She's a wonderful human being, and I believe she deserves a lot more praise than she gets. On May 22nd, 2017, the Manchester Arena in the UK was targeted by an Islamic terrorist. Salman Ramadan Al-Bedi detonated his bomb as people were leaving Ariana Grande's concert that evening. 22 people were killed, including the attacker, hundreds were injured, and over 700 people were dealing with psychological trauma, including Ariana Grande. Many of the fans who attended the concert that evening were young kids. 10 of the 22 who were killed were under the age of 20. Ariana felt broken and felt as if she was the one to blame for all of this. However, the next day, support poured in from people all over the world to remind those who lost someone and Ariana that they were loved and that this was nobody's fault except for the bombers. Ariana went to work quickly, though, to set up a benefits show so money could be donated to the families who lost someone that night and to those who were recovering in the hospital. The One Love Manchester show was held on June 4th, 2017. Ariana, her friends, and fans raised $23 million. All of it went to the victims of the Manchester attack. I remember watching the concert online, and just watching Ariana Grande pour her heart into the show made me tear up multiple times. In fact, I think I cried every time she started crying on stage. Sadly though, Ariana still deals with PTSD and extreme anxiety, but she does not let those hold her back, even as rougher days were coming her way again. During May of this year, Ariana and her ex-boyfriend Mac Miller split up. They had been together for 2 years, and Mac was at her side while she recovered from the Manchester attack. Later that month, she started dating a comedian named Pete Davidson, and by the end of next month, they were engaged. While everyone thought she was moving on too fast, she felt like she was in love, and the world couldn't stop her. But it did stop her, but only for a little bit. On September 7th, Ariana Grande and the world lost Mac Miller. It was an accidental drug overdose, and it shocked everyone. I remember I heard the news while I was in a Pi 5, and I started crying. He was one of my favorite rappers. Sadly, a lot of people placed the blame of Mac Miller's death on Ariana. People flooded her Twitter and Instagram accounts with hateful comments, saying it was her fault and that she deserved to die, not Mac. Ariana sent her thoughts and prayers out a few days later, and they were nothing but sweet. Ariana loved Mac, but their schedules just weren't working with each other, and Mac wasn't focusing on his sobriety like he was supposed to. They were just too busy. It wasn't like she didn't care about him. Ariana Grande loved Mac Miller, and she supported him as much as he could, but there are just some things people can't fix. Ariana Grande had to call off her engagement the next month and made it clear that although she still loves Pete, she needs to focus on her career and herself. Self-care is important, and I believe she should take all the time in the world to recover. Ariana Grande is a person that I believe has a truly wholesome heart. She loves all of her fans, and she's nothing but kind. She could have chosen to respond rudely to those who left her hateful comments, but it chose to respond kindly and calmly. someone told her that she was milking Mac Miller's debt, she replied with, "I pray you never have to deal with anything like this ever, and I'm sending you peace and love." Ariana Grande is a good person, and I believe she deserves a lot more praise than what she gets. Thank you.